Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to another episode of the Amelie podcast. This is the podcast first ever Christmas episode. I've got my Christmas hat on, and I've actually got a bauble here that my mum brought over from the UK when she was visiting. We don't actually have a Christmas tree, so this actually hangs on our wall. We have lots of hooks from the previous tenant. So this just sits on our wall and makes us feel very nice and festive. But I'm very excited to get into this episode with you today. First thing that I want to address is the Christmas present that I have unwillingly and mistakenly given to myself. I chipped my fucking tooth. How did I do this, may you ask? I have no idea. I have composite bonding on my front two teeth, the main two teeth that you see, because I grind my teeth in my sleep and blah blah blah, many reasons. Anyway, went and got those fixed probably about a year ago. I was sitting eating some blueberries, and the next thing I know is I'm chewing on something really hard, and I was thinking, what, this is not a blueberry seed, this is very strange. Take it out my mouth, and it is a piece of my fucking tooth. It's obviously Christmas time, so no dentists are open, and I think I'm just going to have to embrace it because I feel like it's going to cost me so much money to get composite bonding redone, especially when it's not the biggest chip. It's fine, but I'm very precious about my teeth, and I'm just a little bit embarrassed, but that is my first Christmas present that I've ever given to myself that I absolutely despise. But anyway, let's get on with the episode. This episode is coming out obviously on Christmas Eve, and I'm sort of trying to think of what my ideal Christmas would be like, or what I would be doing if I was at home. I feel like I would be with my entire family, my parents and my three sisters, and Christmas Eve is, I feel, kind of like a bigger deal for us as a family instead of Christmas Day. We usually spend Christmas Eve having a really lovely meal prepared by my parents, and we have this lovely time together. And then my sisters and I will get assigned a fruit each that we need to cut up, because for dessert we have this tradition where we do a chocolate fondue and we dip fruit in. It's the best thing. I think as a family, it's something we look forward to for the entire year. We don't do it any other time of year at all. But it's so much fun, and everybody's getting stuck in, and it's such a nice time spent with family. We'll either have Christmas music blaring through the speakers, or we might have our favourite musical theatre songs through the speakers. My sisters and I are all musical theatre freaks, so that's always a really, really fun kind of sing-along thing that we do. Anyway, this Christmas is looking a bit different for me, obviously, and I'm going to be away from home this year, which is the first Christmas I've ever done without my family. And whilst I'm extremely grateful for obviously being able to be in Australia and experience all the things I've experienced this year, it is quite strange. It is a very strange feeling. So I want this episode to kind of celebrate that Christmas and like first Christmas away from family, but also acknowledge that there are going to be other people that are experiencing their first Christmas away from home, or maybe they can't go home for Christmas this year and see family. So I just kind of want us to take some time to reflect and just get all cozy. I'm trying to be as cozy as I can. It is extremely hot outside, so I have put my jumper on, but I am sweating profusely, so bear with me. Growing up, we all have those kind of family traditions or things that our families will do that maybe is particular to your family. I feel like for mine, it is the chocolate fondue that we do every year. Like I said, it is such a big deal for us. It's probably my favorite thing we do as a family. And I love it because my sisters and I will all get assigned a fruit. We cut the fruit up, put it on this massive platter, and we just dip it into this chocolate. And we have everything from strawberries, bananas, I think kiwi some years, oranges, like any fruit you can think of, we're putting it in the platter. Afterwards, we might play like charades or something. I'm part of quite a big family, so it kind of can go on for a while. But it's one of my favorite things that we do, and it's kind of just naturally become a tradition. I wouldn't say any of us have actively tried to make it a thing. We just always gravitate towards doing those things. Another thing I was thinking about is a lot of families will get matching pajamas, which I kind of love. I can't decide if I love or hate. My sisters and I usually have matching pajamas, but my parents don't really get involved. But because I'm one of 4 kids, it's so fun when we all get the same pajamas in like different colors, or we'll get like a different variation of the same thing. And my sisters and I will just cozy up on the sofa, watch one of our favorite Christmas films, and I'm definitely going to miss that this year. It's really something that means a lot to me, and I've realized I actually quite cherish. But if anyone has any unique family traditions, please let me know, because I love hearing about these things. But like I've said, being away from home, I'm not going to be the only one. I know there are a lot of people that are moving to Australia, for example, or can't be with family this year. And I just want to acknowledge that you're obviously not on your own. I think it can be really daunting. And I've been seeing a lot of things on my social media where people are saying they're sort of not sure what to do with themselves when they're alone for Christmas because they've just moved to Australia or moved to a different country. So I kind of want us to feel maybe just a bit less alone in that. And it's going to be a really lovely day regardless. So I just want to say that this can be a really fun opportunity to create some Christmas traditions by yourself or with friends, anyone around you, and it can still be a really nice time. Maybe you want to do Secret Santa with your friends, or you want to spend the whole of Christmas just cozied up watching Christmas films. I think also what you can do to maybe make you feel less alone in a way, or like you're missing your family, is trying to bring a Christmas tradition that you have at home to where you are. That could be buying a new set of PJs for Christmas, or it could be getting PJs that are very similar to the ones you might have at home for Christmas, or it might even be making yourself a small turkey dinner, or sharing cards with friends, grabbing lots of chocolate and not sharing any of it. Whatever you want. Especially if you're in Australia, going to the beach might also become a nice tradition that you want to incorporate every year. I don't usually do a hot Christmas, so for me this is very, very strange. I have to admit I'm not feeling very Christmassy right now, because it's very, very jarring going into the centre of Melbourne and seeing things like big candy cane decorations and snowy Christmas trees when it's like 30 degrees outside. So it is quite jarring, I would say, and it doesn't feel very Christmassy. Also, the fact that I've had to keep my advent calendar from melting is quite insane to me, because at home you just don't think about that. And if you're in Australia, you might want to take advantage and do a classic barbecue, the stereotypical barbecue, and have a really nice meal on Christmas, whether that's by yourself or with friends, whoever you want, and try and really immerse yourself into an Australian Christmas. But nothing says Christmas Eve like a good movie marathon. So my top 5 Christmas films that I think you should watch tonight are The Holiday. Recently, Jude Law said that the inside of the holiday house is not real. Slightly put a downer on it, but I absolutely love this film, and I feel like I kind of connect to it in a way where when I was learning to drive and I was with my driving instructor when I was 17, I was told by my driving instructor that the house they filmed in The Holiday was in Surrey, which is like a 40-minute drive from my house in London. So he decided to do my first day on the motorway going like 70 miles an hour to go and see this house in Surrey, and I didn't think it was real, so I was quite like nervous. It was also my first time on the motorway, so I'm like, I don't want to go 70 miles an hour, quite terrifying. But he was like using it as my motivator to be like, well, do you want to see the house? Do you want to see it? And I'm like, okay, I want to see it. And then eventually got up to feeling confident enough to go 70 miles an hour. But I went and saw this house, so I'm very confused. Unless like they filmed the outside of the house in Surrey, and then the inside of the house was the bit that was fake, but I can't remember which one Jude Law said was fake. I think it was the inside. It was all filmed in America or something, but slightly crushing my spirit, but it's fine. Still love that film very, very much, and will be watching it on Christmas Eve. And then obviously Love Actually. I just don't think that you can do a Christmas without watching Love Actually. I've recently come to realize it's like slightly controversial when I bring this up to people. Some people love this film, some people don't. I absolutely love this film, and I especially love watching this film with my mum, because that scene at the end, we all know which one it is, no one needs to start crying, with Emma Thompson when she opens her present under the tree and it's not what she wanted or thought it was, and just that scene where she starts crying, I know Christmas is supposed to be happy, but I'm like, love that scene, love that film, best casting, best film ever. Watch it tonight. My third film is Christmas with the Cranks. This was a film that my parents showed me when I was younger, and it just has kind of become a tradition to watch it every year. It's just so, so funny, and I feel like the chaos in it really reflected the chaos in my family at Christmas. So I think it'll be really nice to watch this year and think about all the chaos going on at home, even though I'm not there. There are also so many iconic lines in the film Elf. Again, another controversial one. It's not got a very high rating on IMDb. I checked the other day. But I think this is one of the funniest films. My family and I quote this film on a daily basis. It's so, so funny. And we all make sure to watch it as a family every Christmas. And then my fifth film that I've gone with is Arthur Christmas. Absolutely love this film. I know it's a kid's film, but it's just so good. It's so, so good. I think I just remember watching it with my sisters when we were younger and just all absolutely loving the film. And maybe that's why I have such a nice memory of this film. I don't know, but I love Arthur Christmas so much. But let me know what your 5 films are, because I know everyone has very different tastes around Christmas. I'm not like a diehard kind of Christmas fan. I don't know, the action films. I quite like the cozy, kind of romantic ones, I would say, and clearly children's cartoons. And I don't want to sound like a Grinch, but I really don't like a lot of Christmas music. Yes, I am a musician and a singer, but I just can't stand it. Sorry. There's the classics like Last Christmas and Mistletoe by Justin Bieber and All I Want for Christmas Is You and all of Bublé and stuff like that. But apart from them, I'm sorry, I'm not here for the Christmas music. I do have a theory why. I do have some theory behind it. When I was 13, I was part of the school, I think they called it pop group or pop band or something. And I was one of the singers. And I'm 13, by the way. I have a very naturally low voice. I have always had a very low voice. And I got put in front of the entire school at 13 to sing All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey. They made me do the high part. They made me do all the high harmonies. It was traumatic. It was absolutely terrifying. I don't even remember if it went well or if it went badly. I just remember thinking, why the hell have they put the person with the lowest voice to do this? It was just probably sounded like cats screaming. I'm sorry, it probably wasn't that great, but I feel like that's maybe the reason why I'm not the biggest fan. Just slightly traumatized. So maybe someone needs to recommend me some Christmas music. I feel like maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I'm listening to the wrong thing. I don't know, but I'm sorry. It's just not for me. But I hope you all have a lovely Christmas wherever you are. Thank you all so much for being part of this podcast journey. It's been so much fun this year. I'm so excited for next year. I've got so much stuff coming up that I'm really excited about. And I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. Merry Christmas!